All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Honor to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father in truth and sincerity. It's your boy Ariyah going straight in. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do you measure the time? By keeping up with the prophecies. Alright? By reading the book. Blessed is he that readeth. And when thou seest part of the signs, what's the signs? The prophecies. So when you see part of the prophecies pass, which is the signs, when thou see part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we're living in that time. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you living in that time. Salakia. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, key word, in the world, and there have been earthquakes in the world, and there are uproars of people in the world. Okay, just not the United States, but in the world. And that's what you see going on, man. Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Exactly. So these things been spoken of way back in the ancient days. All right. Way before that. From the very beginning. From the very beginning of what? The very beginning of the creation. These things were spoken of, man. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, exactly. And that word manifest means clear, obvious to the eye. All right, so you can see this clearly, man. You see the uproars of the people, man. You see that clearly on your TV screen. You see the uproars of the people in the world and the earthquakes in the world. So you see that clearly. It's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. What is Egypt? America. And you see there's no work which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Exactly, man. That's why all these people are out basically living off these stimulus checks, man. Ain't nobody out here really working, man. And you see that, man. See, this thing is manifested, man. These words are living, like I always say. Verse 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts. So the Lord is shaking this thing up, man. The Lord is making this thing happen, man, that you see on your TV, man, that you see throughout the media, which he shaketh over it. In the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. That's right, man. These Negroes about to be a terror unto Egypt. And what's that Egypt? America, man. These Negroes finna act a fool out here in these last days, man. It's gonna be a terror unto what you call the greatest place on earth, man. Which is nothing but Babylon the Great. Which is spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah. Everyone that make a mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts. Exactly, man. So all these events are happening because of the Most High, man. The Most High is causing this thing to happen, man. It's causing this downfall to happen, man. Why? Because it's which he have determined against it, man. So the Most High has determined this place to fall, man. To be straight up demolished out here, man. Nothing but straight terrors is in the future of this place, man. And you getting a first eye view at it when you're looking at your media, man. And it's only gonna get worse, man. This thing is not gonna lighten up. It ain't gonna go away. You ain't finna go to sleep and wake up and then it's gonna be a new day and everything gonna be back to normal. No, that ain't happening, man. So we damn near out of here, man. So with that, All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Honors to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father in truth and sincerity. And enjoy the videos, man. Enjoy Babylon the Great. Enjoy the world going down in flames, man. Because that's what you about to see, man. And it's only going to pick up, man. It's only going to pick up. Shalom.
And the communities who are angered by their actions. Joining me now is NRS correspondent Farron Franzak, who was there in Philadelphia reporting live throughout most of the day. Ben Swann is also going to be joining us. Now, he's been following the unrest in our nation's capital. Farron, I'm going to begin with you. And can you take us through what you were able to see there and capture for us what the video seems to reflect as well that transpired last night suddenly in Philadelphia?
Well, you know, Rick, if you were watching the newscast last night, literally moments before we went to air, it was the moment where protesters met with police. And we were, like you had mentioned before, we were the first network to cover this. I was right there as it all was happening, especially, thanks to your coverage as well. Now, I'm going to keep it simple as far as last night after we left Philadelphia. Nearly a dozen people shot last night, including a 15-year-old girl. Now, there are reports on the ground that looters were shooting looters. This was the street that we were on last night. This was after we left, where protesters then started to get violent. When I was there, they were peaceful, but then they started to get a little bit more violent. You had the GameStop strip mall that we were at last night as well at our 7 o'clock hour. That we have video where it was complete. You can see here that GameStop we were at, it was looted directly after our newscast last night. You also had a man pulled from a car. This is actually more too. We were at that strip mall as well, but this is a shocking video. This was police pulling a man from his car, saying that he was trying to run over a police officer, beating the car in, smashing the windows, pulling him out.
Oh my God.
It's amazing to see, when you're there the first hour of these protests, how they start peacefully. But then as the night progresses, it starts to get more and more violent. And I did see those, covering the George Floyd protests with you from the very beginning as well. Okay. The same thing.
Just to be fair, since we made reference to that last scene, I don't know if you can cue that up or not, Kevin, that last shot there of the police officers taking that guy out of that car. To set this up properly, we should probably tell our viewers what happened earlier in the day with a motorist who, I think, did run over a police officer, right?
It was the day before, correct, where, it was a pickup truck that ran over a police officer, a 56-year-old woman. She was in the hospital with a broken leg. So police were already on alert that they were going to be trying, drivers would be trying to run them over.
Right.
So here it was, he had attempted it, stopped the car, smashed the windows, and pulled him out and arrested him.
So to say that police were sensitive to this type of thing would be a fair statement.
Yes, because they had seen it the night before. Absolutely.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question, Farron, because it was interesting watching this all take place last night.
Touch anybody! Get your fucking pig hands off of them! Fuck you! You just said it, Joe!
There is growing resentment in Europe over new rules aimed at combating the spread of coronavirus. Although countries have stopped short of returning to full lockdowns, people are still flouting measures currently in place. There were riots in Barcelona, for example. Hundreds gathered in a central square there, protesting against the state of emergency imposed across Spain, and they ignored a nighttime curfew. They also set bins on fire near the regional parliament. And there were similar scenes too in Italy, where several cities saw protests get out of hand. In Turin, smoke bombs were let off and bottles hurled at police, while in Milan, riot officers resorted to using tear gas. We got reaction to the new measures in both Spain and Italy.
As you can see, Italy is rebelling. This government has decided to suppress the Italian people, to starve them to death. We hope that this government will fall soon.
These are quite drastic measures, but they are kind of in the middle. It's not a real lockdown. It's a lockdown by halves.
This makes me suspect that, in the end, the problem will transform from a sanitary issue into an economic one. And that is where the real problem lies.
It's a disaster. It will be devastating for many people and many families that work in the nightlife industry.